Avengers, assemble. Welcome back to Sanders Presents. I'm Greg, and if you're enjoying the content we're producing, please consider, if you are able, following that link in the description below and becoming an Avenger today by joining our Patreon. We have two tiers available, a $3 tier and a $5 tier. At that $5 tier, you will become an Avenger Premium member and you will make it to our Hall of Heroes. And we have Fairy Cake Ed, Fly Guy 215, One Shot, One Kill, Treasure Valentine, and Fishy. Thank you all so much for being Avenger Premium members. I hope you enjoy your comic drops and more to come. So thank you so much for your support. So let's get right into it. The Avengers roadmap is complete. It's done. It's over. We got it. We've reached the end of the last roadmap we had. As of the recording of this video, November 30th is where it all ends. It ends with the arrival of Spider-Man on PlayStation and the raid, the Claw raid, available for everyone, all on the 30th. So here we are. What is the future of Avengers? What is that 2022 roadmap? That's the biggest question. Everyone's speculating about it. Everyone has ideas. Everyone has thoughts and suggestions. But we're going to take a step back and we're going to do our 2022 roadmap. We're going to do our own, Marvel's Avengers 2022 roadmap. We're it's not going to be wishful thinking. I'm not going to we're not going to do anything like far outside the realm of possibility. We're going to do everything based on what we've been data mining for over a year. Again, our first data mine that was cited across the industry and is still referenced to this day on sites like Polygon and Bleeding Cool and everywhere else. It was August, right? Yeah, August. That was when the beta dropped where we did it. God, it's been a while. But it was August 2020. And we're going to use that to form our basis for our 2022 roadmap. That's how we're going to go here. So let's look at 2022. We're going to reach the best conclusions that we can. We're going to be as reasonable as possible. We're going to try to be as realistic as possible. And we're going to set ourselves up without raising our expectations too high. We're going to keep average expectations. So let's look at it. Let's say we get 3 heroes in 2022. That's reasonable. Right? I consider that fair. So we're going to have that as a basis. In 2021, this year, we got Hawkeye and Black Panther for everybody. And of course, that's Clint Barton. And then, like I said, Black Panther. We got 2 heroes for everybody. And then we got Spider-Man on PlayStation. But really, all we got was 2 heroes. We got Kate, but Kate was in December 2020. So she doesn't count as a 2021 release. When we got to be aware of that. So Avengers came out on the 1st of September for early access like myself. 1st of September, Avengers came out in 2020. That December, we got Kate Bishop. In 2021, we got Clint and T'Challa. I don't really want to add Spider-Man, if only because, most of us aren't going to get to play as him. He's just on PlayStation. It's a small hero event. It's not even a full-scale operation. Yeah, it's hard to choose a basis for Spider-Man. It's hard to look at Spider-Man and have a basis or to set some kind of standard. So I'm going to look at 2022 and I'm going to say we're going to get 3 heroes. And that's our first step on expectations. I want to keep it even. So we're not going to go wild. We're not going to say 4 heroes. We're not going to say 6 heroes. We're going to keep it reasonable and we're going to keep it at 3. Okay, that to me that's fair. We got 1 hero we got 1 additional hero in 2020. We got 2 heroes in 2021. I think we can get 3 in 2022. So what's the first up? Now, again, these are not leaks. This is all looking at the data mine, and this is all trying to reach a logical conclusion. This is not trying to speculate wildly. This is trying to reach a logical conclusion. But we have to have a baseline. Our baseline is 3 heroes in 2022. First up, She-Hulk. I feel very strongly about that. I feel like She-Hulk's going to be the first drop. And again, if you've been with this channel for a while, you know that we've heard and therefore we have leaked that She-Hulk is also going to be the first show in 2022 on Disney Plus. That would be great brand synergy. I would love to see that. I would love to see them be successful with that and launch it that way. I think it'd be very exciting. So we have that. We have a purported launch date for She-Hulk on Disney Plus, and I do believe very strongly that She-Hulk is the first hero of 2022. And so I would expect that in spring. I would expect her to arrive in spring 2022. I think that's reasonable. I hope, and my hope would be early spring, because we haven't had a new hero drop since August. So my hope would be very early spring. Again, January, February, or March, like within those 3 months. Honestly, the earlier the better, in my opinion. We need a drop like that at the beginning of the year, because we will have been on. It will be a drought in terms of heroes to drop. Now, She-Hulk, will she arrive with an enemy? I hope so. The one that makes the most sense is Red Hulk. We've found Red Hulk in the data mine since August 2020. Red Hulk has been there. He makes a lot of sense for a drop. He makes a lot of sense for a She-Hulk operation. So again, we're trying to reach a logical conclusion. So if we're looking at a hero and a villain, then that's the one that makes the most sense. After She-Hulk, early summer, that summer window, 2022, Winter Soldier. Currently, he is the one that is further, he's the next one in line, so to speak. You could even say it's a toss-up depending on your point of view, but I still think She-Hulk comes first. So you look at it, and you've got Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is interesting. Obviously, he's going to throw a wrench into it, so to speak. In terms of enemies, Winter Soldier's so closely associated with Hydra. I would love to see the introduction of a Hydra enemy type, but I don't know if his operation, would be considered like, oh, it's too small to introduce all these kind of variables and all these different skins for enemies and stuff. So I don't know if they would do that. In terms of enemies, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Maybe this is where they finally drop Ultron, but Winter Soldier doesn't really fit Ultron, but maybe they're not even going to try to tie it together that way. It's hard to say. Again, that's just me spitballing. Just looking at the hero, that, again, Winter Soldier, if January, February, March for She-Hulk, then I would hope May or June, between May or June for Winter Soldier. Then, again, the third and last hero of the year, we have the Kree invasion, Captain Marvel. And this goes right back around to it. Since our 2020 August data mines during the beta, what did we see? Kree enemy types, all kinds of Kree enemy types. Captain Marvel will arrive as the hero. Again, I would say September, on the anniversary of Avengers. September, again, very late August or September, we get the arrival of Captain Marvel with the Kree invasion. All those enemy types plus Captain Marvel and a new villain. My brain goes right to Ronan the Accuser. I feel like that's exactly where Ronan the Accuser drops, is right there with the Kree invasion storyline. Again, just trying to draw a baseline and just again, we're trying to reach reasonable conclusions here. And I think that's a good year. I do. I think that's a good year. It may not be as many heroes as we want, and maybe they'll surprise us and do more. Again, they could, but I want to have a baseline. We don't want to raise our expectations up to obscene levels. I want to try to keep it reasonable. I mean, that's the whole thing about this. It's like, how can we look at 2022? How can we compare it to the latter half of 2020? How can we compare it to 2021? What can we reasonably conclude? What kind of baseline can we reach? How can we compare that to the data mine? How can we compare that to, the work that we've been putting in, that we've been, investigating on this game? We have to start small. If they surprise us beyond this, that's amazing. That's great. But we have to start small. This looks the most realistic in terms of hero additions. Then, beyond hero additions, my next hope, patrols. I hope to see patrols in late spring or early summer 2022. I really hope that we get a major update on and have them tell us about patrols, and that we see that launch in late spring to summer 2022. And they can throw in the Wastelands if they want to, but it needs to be in New York. It needs to be in some kind of really iconic location. The wastelands are not interesting. That should not be the launch for the patrol zone. You can have the wastelands with it. Give us 2 locations. Give us the wastelands and New York, but don't just give us the wastelands. I'm sorry, that is just not that interesting, and I'll continue to go on about that. Like, we need better variety than that. The city and citizens and civilians and an active world is more interesting and more immersive. So I look forward to hearing your thoughts. I look forward to hearing your thoughts. I look forward to, now that we have this baseline, we can look ahead in the future and we can see where we go from here, and we can have an idea on where we go from here. You know, whatever the future holds, of course, I'm interested to see where the game goes. I'm interested to see how far it reaches, and I'm interested to see what they do with the heroes that we've been covering for over a year now. And I'm looking forward to your thoughts on this 2022 prediction as well, and your own 2022 predictions in terms of the roadmap. And hopefully we see that roadmap again before the end of the year, or at least by the end of the year. Hopefully we have some kind of update, at least teasing even just spring 2022, just something to get us ready. So, to my Avengers, thank you so much for supporting us through our Patreon, and thank you for making this content possible. Without you, we just wouldn't be here, so we really do appreciate it. As I said, if you are able, please consider following that link in the description below and joining our Patreon community. Thank you all so much. To everyone watching, thank you for being a part of this conversation. Please consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing this content across social media. It helps immensely with YouTube's analytics and algorithms, and it lets YouTube know, hey, we should recommend this channel. So we do appreciate it here. Above all else, and most importantly, stay safe, take care of others, and have an absolutely wonderful day. Bye, everyone.